Today I'm going to demonstrate the Firenock's brand new system called the iBowSight. iBowSight consists of an iPhone, a bracket system, an app inside the iPhone. In this case, we store it in this folder, and that's what the icon looks like. And of course, for hunting purposes, we also have an option to get a correction lens, which will be mounted into this area. Okay, let's go into the iBowSight app itself to show you the features of iBowSight. Look, this is how long it takes to start the iBowSight. This is what the default iBowSight app looks like. Let's go from area to area so you know what it means. The iBowSight, of course, our company name, the current profile you're using, the profile selector, the current in-app capability, the site itself, the setting, the recording button, and of course, the water level. Let's get to the setting to see what it can do. Inside the setting, there's multiple screens. The first one is called a sight pin adjustment window. Then we go to ring adjustment window, zoom pan adjustment, third axis adjustment, and pendulum adjustment, and finally the profile adjustment. Just for information, I will just set this system up right now. For profile adjustment, I'll just call it Dodge Hunting 2. And the bow name, I'm going to set up my SR71. That. And the arrow, I'm going to use my Victory HV and V1. And the arrow length for this specific, which is my current arrow, which will be 29.75 inch long. And the tip weight, I'm going to use the 100 grain arrow point. That will be arrow point 8mm size. Alright, now see this screen right here? The system where the pendulum is enabled or auto record. Now if I check auto record, the moment I put the system back from launch or come back from sleep, it'll honestly be recording. And if I don't like the pendulum side, I can take this off. At this moment, I'll take auto record off so I can see what I'm doing. Alright? Now accept it. Then when I go back to the first screen, I'm going to set up this site for 5 pins. So I'm going to use the screen. I'm going to set 5 pins. Using add button, I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins. Of course, right now I'm just basically deciding what kind of pin size I want to use. And then default, the system, the pin is 0.60 inch. I can adjust the pin, adjust the color, and adjust the shape. For example, if I want my first pin, using this pin selector button, I can make that into a circle. I can fine tune it to make it a little bit higher in 1/1000th of an inch increment, or I can use my hand to make it higher and lower. Like most of my older site, I prefer my first pin to be green. The second pin, I like it to be yellow. And as there is about just under 2.6 million color you can choose from. And the third pin, I want it to be red. The fourth pin, I want it a little bit higher, which I sort of understand how my bow works. And I'll make that into, say, a pale green. And finally, for my fifth pin, which most probably my 60-yard pin, I will make that into an offset teal. Okay. And my third pin, which I would always like that if I can, I'll make that into a different shape, like this one. I will make it a little bit bigger or smaller just by pinching it, or I can use fine tune. I can use fine tune to make it smaller and bigger in 3/1000 of an inch increment. After I got my pin set up, I'll just accept it. Yes, you can add up to 7 pin, and you can delete any pin you want using the delete function. I'll accept this. Next thing I'm going to do is show you how the ring adjustment works. In the ring adjustment, you can actually make the ring bigger or smaller, or fine-tune it using the fine-tune button, or make the ring bigger and smaller using the fine-tune button. Now you notice that's very unique. There's 2 colors. The first color is what the ring is going to be when it was perfectly centered. And the second color is what happened to it if it is off. I would prefer at this moment using the yellow as off and the normal as green. and I'll accept that. Okay, now let me go back to it and show you. For most people, the ring may be smaller, maybe left, or maybe right. This is where you can fine-tune and adjust your ring after you mount it on the bow. I'm going to make it a little bit to the left so that you can see that. Okay, after the ring adjustment, I'm going to the zoom and pan. Now, zoom and pan is a digital zoom. It is not an optical zoom. The system simply gives you a closer and wider focus using a digital system. I do not recommend using this until you got your zoom or your optical correction lens and see how you like it. Okay, let me go back, sorry. And the last portion is a third axis. Now, this function is very, very important because all the bow rises are perfect, and sometimes you need to resight your bow and find the true pendulum position. Now, in this screen, you can do two things. Some people like myself, I would like my water level really close to my sight, and some people prefer it really low. And right now, I just put it right underneath it. Now, that's a calibrate right here. Now, you can also, this is the place you can adjust your color of your water level. See right now, it matched the color. You notice, very importantly, the center line of this water level is true to the center line of the ring. It do not move left, it do not move right, it's right on the center. Now, if I do a calibrate, this is what I tell the system how off and reset the water level. If my bow, after I mount this on the water level, is actually this off, by clicking calibrate, it becomes the new center line of the bow. Now see, this level sensitivity, it tells you how off I am before the ring will kick in. Now see, the ring is green right now. The moment I'm off more than 5 degrees, it changed yellow. See that? Now if I put it to 0, to 1, there's only 1 degree variation. If I put it up to, say, 9, so up to 9 degrees before the ring will kick in. See that? Now, most probably, I will use 5 as about 2 or 4 degrees seems like a good start. See that? The moment 4 degrees it kicks in, it's 0 now. All right, this is all done. I'm going to accept it. Now we're going to the really fun piece. It's called the pendulum. See, and unlike any other site, because it's full digital, you can use all the pendulum capability. Now, what does pendulum capability means? That means besides the original 5 pin, there's another pin right here. And this pin, it will base on the location of the first pin, or what we call standardly called the 20-yard pin. The system also lets you change the shape. And for the pendulum, I will prefer to use this icon so we can see better, a triangle. And I'm going to make that into a bright, actually closer to a pink color with a little bit of a metallic form. I think this is a better metallic. Yep, this is much better. We'll choose that. Now that become our pendulum pin. And then we also can change the color of it, which we just do. And then after the shape of it, which this window will give me, and I can tune it. I can tune it as precise. Now, see, this angle will tell you that at 45 degrees it kicked in, or I can make it a zero pendulum or a full pendulum. When you go in full pendulum, that means from any time at 90 degrees, the moment you're below 90 degrees, the pendulum will kick in. So it become a full pendulum side. And just for demonstration purposes, I will set it at 45 degrees. Now, next thing very interesting is called a pendulum offset. This will give you the ability based on your bow speed. You can offset the pendulum by making the ring bigger or smaller. In other words, changing the radius of the pendulum by compensating it to offset it so that you can match your bow's ability. Because of speed, some bows are faster, so the pendulum pin needs to be longer to accommodate this. All right, I'll click again tune. You see it goes away. And for demonstration, that is hard to see. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to use this. And I'm going to make it a much better color. How about a bright green? Yep, that will work. See, you can see that? That actually is working. Now I'm going to accept it. After all the setting is done, I'm going to say done. Now, this is my system. See that? It tells me that this is the profile I'm using. Oh, by the way, this is a profile selector. You can see after you make it, you can make as many profiles as you want. Your new profile, creating copy, edit the list. I can select whatever profile. This profile can up to 20,000. And you can edit the list by making your top list all. Before you go to shoot, you can move them all the way to the point, to the front. All right. Now imagine this. It's ready to shoot. The moment the 20-yard pin is right on top, and the deer is coming close, and you just lower the sight the moment you pass the 45-degree mark. See the pendulum sight? Of course, most people would like the pendulum sight should put the first 20-yard pin right in the middle. Then, see that right now, because the pin is so short, the pendulum ability is very, very minor. Okay, then a lot of people ask, since this is a sight, how accurate is it when you mount to the bow? Well, let's put it on the bracket and show you. This is the standard Safari Firenock iBowSight bracket. The reason it's called Safari because it's superbly built. You can put in and out of it in about, say, half a minute, and you also grab the iPhone, not in 8 places, but in 16 points. See, the iPhone, the most precise part of the iPhone is the stainless steel bristle. And by grabbing between the stainless steel bristle and the glass, we overcome 2 problems. First of all, the thermal expansion of the glass or the stainless steel. Let me show you how it works. First, open the bracket. Now you slide the iPhone in. You literally hear a click sound when the iPhone goes in. It's actually grabbing the entire iPhone on all 8 corners. It's much easier to take this side out altogether, so you can see how it works. See that? The iPhone is going to slide between those points, and then you hear it click. Now see that? It goes right in. Then you put this side on. Now I'm going to push it between all the brackets. You hear that? Now it's clipped in. But that's not good enough. See this hook right here? It actually will, based on geometry, push in that and actually hold the entire iPhone in, and you see how it locks. Now, no matter how you shake it, the iPhone is in the bracket. By this design, from what the tests we have done, now this bracket, we have pulled in and out of this bracket, I would say right now, closer to about 500 to 600 times since our first showing in Matthews. And that's the first time we ever showed this. A lot of people say, how does it look like on a bow? Well, currently the only bow I have that you currently have the bracket on it is my son's Craze. So I'll show you how long it takes me to put it from this bow to the other. I'll open the bracket, okay? Then I'll open this from this side, so that's how you take the iPhone back out. Now I'll grab my son's Craze, which is right here. Same thing. Take the bracket, open the bracket, slide the iPhone in, slide the bracket on, after you slide on, you heard a click, and then you slide this bracket on. See that? It's solid. You can actually just grab the iPhone and shake the bow. It really do not move. That's how solid we build it. Well, thank you. This is the first demo of an iBowSight. I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm doing it. Thank you.